funny. It's the first time that on the first day of practice I got a clue as to what my personnel is all about. You know, it's fun to go into your first day and have a feel to what your players do good and don't do well, and so you can try and put them in the right places from day one, so you can have ideas on how your team is going to play the first time you take the court. And it's a fun feeling to have, especially, you know, we got a group of guys. I can't say enough good things about them. They, you know, I realize that you guys are going to write your stories as the season progresses based on wins and losses. I get all that, but I can tell you, as a coach, it's fun to see the culture that these guys are building in that locker room, and their daily approach and commitment to representing that uniform the right way. I'm boring, man. You're going to have problems every season, whether you got a young team or an old team. And all you can do is, like, you know, I talk about this all the time, raising my own kids. Yeah, all I can do is hope that when they become 19 and they're out there, that they have a foundation within them that helps them make the right choice. No one makes the right choice all the time, but helps them make the right choice most of the time. And that's all I can do with our guys. I'm not a very good, you know, guesser, you know, predictor. I try to keep my thumb on their pulse and the pulse of our team. And are we working? That's the first thing I'm always paying attention to is, are we working? Are we accepting responsibility? Are we doing our jobs? And I put unbelievable pressure on everyone in our organization to do that every day. And in essence, they turn around, and by them doing that, they put pressure on me for me to do my job every day. And we've got a group of guys. We set a school record in team GPA. You don't do that because you take easy classes. You do that because guys actually make a commitment to embrace all their responsibilities. I'm pretty sure we didn't set a record, but we did the most community service hours men's basketball has done through the summer here. You know, that takes time. That means our guys have to embrace going out and doing those things. And not just show up and stand there and not be fun to be around, because when that happens, nobody else asks you to come back and get around their people. And then from a basketball standpoint, knock on wood, they've stayed out of trouble. And from a basketball standpoint, I can't ask them to do more than what they've done. I mean, Scott Greenewalt, the numbers from their bodies to athletically to all the different things that we challenge our guys to improve at from a strength, conditioning, agility standpoint, through the roof. Body weights, whether it's down or up, you know, their body composition, it's drastically changed. I was watching, and I'm going to use Senderis again since Dave brought up his name. I was watching Senderis' body last week. He got out of the weight room, and he was in the locker room. He took his shirt off. Compared to what it looked like at this time last year, it's day and night, you know, and those improvements, those commitments, there's no shortcuts there in anything that we've done. So that's what I keep my pulse on, so we're more prepared to handle the difficult moments of a season now. I understand our players better. I think they understand us better. And we're excited. We're excited to go take on. If you don't want to deal with problems, then you might as well just stay in your house and don't ever step outside. We're ready to step outside. We're ready to take on the challenges that the season brings on. If I told you right now that you and I are going to go run a marathon tomorrow morning, how excited would you be for the next 24 hours? If I told you that you and I tomorrow are going to go, not race, but we're just going to run 100 yards, would you be bothered a whole lot between now and tomorrow morning? I try to keep my guys focused on one step at a time. Don't worry about March. If you worry about March, you're putting undue pressure on yourself today because of that worry that comes on your head. Be concerned with today. Who cares what's going to happen in March? Let's worry about that when we get there. You know, you can be in first place in mid-January and get left out of the thing in March. The whole challenge every day is whether you win or lose a game, to come in the next day and be excited for who you are. Doesn't mean you got to be happy with one another. You can be pissed at each other for what happened the day before. There's nothing wrong with that. I get upset at my children all the time. They get upset at me. But I don't stop loving them. They don't stop loving my family. And then you deal with that next day with the excitement of your foundation of who you are. Not in hatred that I don't think you're any good, I can't believe. You deal with love that you've established from your unity, from your commitment to one another. And you deal with getting better on that day. And then you keep going. And if you just manage it that way, and you don't get worried about who you play January 15th when it's January the 9th, you worry about that day, January the 9th. I'm not smart enough to do it any other way. I want my guys to simplify. I like simplifying things. The harder the moment gets, the simpler I get. I want my players to be the same way. If you were my boss, I'd probably feel pressure because that's what you're worried about. Was that live television at 6 a.m. today? Was that you live on television at 6, or was that recorded? Come on, man. I was going to try and give you some credit. You've been working since early this morning. I don't worry about that stuff, man. I can care less. Go look at my background and see where I sit at today and think if you think I'm worried about pressure? For winning games, please. You know, I come from nothing. If what I do is not good enough, I will go back to nothing. I was happy with nothing. I will be happy with nothing again if that's the path my life is designed to have. I don't worry about. My job is not to win games. That's what you judge me on. My job is to help people. I keep my focus on that. If we win enough games, we'll have a lot of fun together. If we don't win enough games, then obviously you're going to start reporting that there's pressure on me. I can care less about that, you know, and no one puts more pressure on me to help my guys than me. And it's worked for me for 30 years. I've never been worried about what anyone thinks about job security or any of that nonsense. And I coached my first year in college basketball, 9 freshmen, no contract, none, 0 contract, day to day. They could have shaken my hand and said, see you later. Everything my family's been through to raise me, that I've been through to get here, pressure to keep a job because of winning and losing is not something I go to bed thinking about. Normal maturation, you know, it's just they respect each other, they push each other to work. Watching, I'll give you a quick example. Watching, and I'm going to use the 2 names you just used. Watching Ty go up against Marcus Stroman and Senderis going up against DeMarcus Blanton, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. You know, you got 2 guys that understand speed, understand what we do, and they're out there trying to make those freshmen look bad. And that's the way it should be. And then when the play's over, they're trying to help those freshmen understand what they did wrong. And then the thing that's encouraging about those freshmen is that they're going nose to nose with 2 guys that are good players that have been through it and not backing down one step. So that's what I see, and that's where the growth is the most obvious. If you got 5'9" point guards and 6'5" centers, you got problems. You got 6'5" guards, 6'7" centers, you got a chance. That's, you know, that's what we have. You know, we got Limonis and Demetrius. They're both way better. They're both better prepared to help our team as far as height goes. You got Michael Carrera, who's 6'5". I don't remember him. He's led us in rebounding 2 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember him ever catching a rebound with the top of his head. You know, in basketball, it's all reach. He's got 6'11" reach. So he doesn't play like a 6'5" guy. He plays like a 6'11" guy. So in rebounding, blocking shots, deflecting passes, things of that nature, he's got, length, I guess is the word that we all use. And, Senderis is long. DeMarcus is long. Stroman is long. Ty Johnson is in that 6'3", 6'4", 6'6", 6'7" reach. We got long players. I don't get wrapped up on height. I've been a part of many teams that have beaten a lot of teams that got 7-foot guys that play like 6'3" guys. Height's not. We won a state championship in high school with a 6'2" tight end as our power forward. Height's not. Do we have balance in our size? Do we have the ability to disrupt offense because of our perimeter length? And we do have that. And I guess that's all. Dave, I guess that all goes back to my upbringing. I really don't pay attention to what I don't have. I pay attention to what I do have, and I try to take advantage of our strengths.